She was once just a barefoot girl, clinging to the dusty frame of a classroom window, peeking in at a world she was never allowed to enter. The daughter of a mad woman, shunned, whispered about, and forgotten by the very society that should have protected her. But today, oh, today she is no longer wandering the streets. Today, she walks through the polished gates of one of the most prestigious private schools in the city, her satchel heavy not with scraps, but with books. And behind this miracle stands a man, a powerful billionaire who has taken her under his care, while her mentally ill mother receives treatment in one of the best psychiatric hospitals in the country. Yet questions remain. Will her mother's mind ever truly heal? Will Skolola complete her education and finally break free from her past? Or will Chief Agu, like any Linda before him, vanish just when she needs him most? Sit back, relax, and maybe grab some popcorn, because what you're about to hear will leave you stunned. And if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and like the video so we can bring you more life-changing stories like this. Now, let's step into the moment where everything changed. The air inside the courtroom felt frozen, as though time itself had stopped to listen. Skolola sat between Chief Agu and Jessica, her small hands clasped tightly together, palms damp, heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She wore a simple navy blue dress, freshly pressed by one of the housemaids, and on her feet, her very first pair of real leather flats. They pinched slightly. What she didn't care today was not about comfort. Today was about belonging. Her wide eyes wandered to the towering walls, the slow whirl of an old ceiling fan, the shuffle of legal papers, and the impassive faces of lawyers and journalists. Everything felt too big, too serious. She was just a girl from the streets, wasn't she? Then her name, spoken aloud by the judge, she flinched. "Yes, sir," she murmured, barely above a whisper. The judge, a tall man with gray sideburns and glasses that kept sliding down his nose, regarded her with unexpectedly gentle eyes. "Do you understand why we're here today?" Skolola swallowed hard. "Yes, sir. Chief Agu wants to adopt me. And how do you feel about that?" Her throat tightened. She glanced at Chief Agu, who gave her a small, steady nod like a lighthouse in the middle of her storm. "I feel like I'm finally home," she whispered. The judge leaned forward. "Are you sure you want this? No one is forcing you?" She turned to Jessica, whose eyes shone with barely contained joy. Then she looked back at the man who had pulled her from the pit of poverty and given her a seat at his table. "No one forced me," she said louder now. "I choose him." A low murmur rippled through the courtroom. The judge smiled faintly, turned a page, and spoke with finality. "By the authority vested in this court in the state of Lagos, I hereby approve the petition of Chief Maxwell Agu to adopt the minor Skolola into his legal and rightful custody." He lifted his gavel. "This court recognizes Skolola Agu as the lawful daughter of Chief Agu from this day forward." Bang! The gavel struck wood, and in that moment, something inside Skolola broke loose. Something old, something heavy, and for the first time in her life, it was gone. Confident smirks rippled across the stage until the moment Skolola and Jessica stepped forward. The sudden shift was almost audible. The announcer strode onto the platform, voice booming through the hall. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are now down to our final 3 contestants." Thunderous applause erupted from the audience, especially from the cheering section of Queen's Crest International. Miss Jessica Agu and Miss Skolola Agu. The crowd's energy flickered into a low murmur. Whispers spread like wildfire. "That's her, the girl from the news, the one Chief Agu adopted. Wasn't she homeless?" Skolola heard every word, but she didn't let them pierce her. Instead, her gaze found the front row where Chief Agu sat, dignified in a gray caftan, calm as stone. His eyes locked on hers, and with a slow, deliberate nod, he anchored her. She returned the gesture. The spelling rounds began. The tension was thick enough to taste. One by one, contestants fell away, tongues tangled, nerves rattled, even the sharpest minds. But Skolola, she was a river in perfect flow. Philanthropy, correct. Ecclesiastical, correct. Ubiquitous, correct. Her voice never wavered. Her memory never stumbled. Jessica matched her, step for step. Round for round, each of them a mirror to the other. The 2 girls, now celebrated nationwide as the queens of Queen's Crest, had turned the competition into something electric, and then it came down to just 2. Best friends, sisters in every way but blood, now standing as rivals. The announcer cleared his throat. Miss Jessica Agu, please step forward. Jessica straightened, adjusted her collar, and approached the microphone. Your word is chiaroscuro. Jessica blinked, repeating it softly to herself. Chiaroscuro. She drew a deep breath. Chiroscuro. The judge's table was silent for a heartbeat. Then one judge's eyebrow twitched. It was shaped like a mango leaf, delicate, golden, and warm against her palm. Scalola stared at it in awe. I had it made, Chief Agu said quietly, so you'll never forget where you came from. Her vision blurred with tears as he fastened the chain gently around her neck. Then, without hesitation, he pulled her into the longest, strongest embrace she had ever known. My daughter, he whispered, his voice steady yet full of feeling. Fly, and don't look back unless it's to lift someone else up. Scalola pressed her cheek against his chest, nodding. I will. At the airport gate, she turned for one last look. Jessica stood at the glass, waving furiously, tears streaming down her face. Beside her, Chief Agu rested a protective hand on Jessica's shoulder. Scalola placed her palm on the glass, her voice barely above a breath. I'll make you proud. The engines roared. The runway stretched out like a promise, and with one deep breath, she took off, not just into the sky but into destiny. 3 months later, her life in the United States was a whirlwind. Long days in laboratories, late nights in libraries, leadership seminars that challenged her in ways she had never imagined. She walked hallways with students from over 40 countries, debated climate change with scientists, and even presented a research paper on neurological learning in children, all while wearing a badge that proudly read, Agu, Nigeria. But far away, back home, something extraordinary was stirring. Adini, the woman the world had written off as mad, was waking up. Dr. Aisha had warned Chief Agu that recovery from years of psychosis would be slow, uncertain, and painfully fragile. It doesn't heal overnight, she had said, but with the right medication, a safe environment, and unwavering support, we might see change. And change came in flickers. At first, it was small things. Adini blinking at sunlight without screaming, whispering lullabies instead of shouting at shadows. Then came the day she looked up at a nurse and asked, Where's my plate? Her voice clear, her mind present. By month 4, she could hold short conversations. By month 5, she was attending therapy, asking thoughtful questions. And by month 6, she asked the question, Where's my daughter? The nurse froze. Your daughter? Yes, Adini said softly, touching her chest. She used to call me Mommy. Where is she? The hospital called Chief Agu immediately, within hours. He booked a flight and called Scalola overseas. Your mother is coming back, he said gently. And she's asking for you. Scalola's breath caught. Is she okay? She's not the same, he admitted, but she's no longer lost. Tears pooled in her eyes. I'm coming home. It was raining the morning she arrived at the hospital. Stepping out of the car, she clutched a bouquet of sunflowers, Adini's favorite, or at least the one she used to mumble about on her clearer days. Jessica joined her, holding an umbrella over them. Both ready? Jessica asked softly. Scalola nodded, though her stomach was tight with knots. They walked through the psychiatric wing, greeted by nurses who all knew her story. She looks just like her mother, one whispered, in the visitation room. Adini sat by the window, dressed neatly in an ankle wrapper and a warm sweater. Her hair was braided, her skin glowing from months of care. Mommy, Scalola said, stepping forward. Adini turned slowly, blinking, tilting her head. I'm sorry. Do I know you? Scalola's breath caught. It's me, Scalola, your daughter. Adini's brow furrowed. My daughter died. They told me she fell into a gutter. The rain took her away. No, Mommy, I'm here. You used to sing me Yoruba lullabies. You called me Princess. We begged together at mile 12. Remember the man with the guitar who gave us bread? But Adini just looked away, pressing a hand to her forehead. I don't remember. The bouquet slipped from Scalola's hands. She sank to her knees. Jessica knelt beside her, holding her close. It's okay, Jessica whispered. She's trying. Give her time. Time, however, did not heal the break in her heart. For days, Scalola returned bringing a new wrapper, biscuits, an old songbook, photos of her at Queen's Crest, at the spelling bee, even beneath the mango tree, and every time, Adini would smile politely and say, You're very kind, dear, but I have no daughter. On the 6th day, Something in Skolola snapped. She rose abruptly, her voice trembling with pain. "Do.